Practice the exercises slowly at first, and to see the music notation and find more detailed text explanations, you'll find this lesson on drummagazine.com.
Okay, now I got a tremendous amount of feedback for my last lesson, the 5-stroke roll, and a lot of you guys said you're doing great with it. Others are having trouble with it. So I decided to put an extension on it and do another open and closed roll workout. So that's what this lesson's all about. Okay, so if you recall, and if you don't, if you didn't make the 5-stroke roll, I suggest you go back and check that out. It's a two-parter. Okay, check those two parts out before proceeding to this. Okay, so again, my approach to the open and closed stroke roll. Now you can use whatever approach that you normally use, but if you're having problems working this and getting it up to speed, okay, I suggest you just give my technique a shot. You know, just give it a try. Who knows, it might work out for you. Okay, so here's my approach to it. Let's take the open stroke roll first. Okay, so the way I play open stroke rolls, I play them very cleanly. I don't do what we call, some drummers do what I call, play and pray. And that means that they just throw it and they just try to get the rebound just to happen automatically, but they're not controlling that rebound. They're just letting it bounce. But that leads to sloppiness. The difference between that sound and this sound, can you hear the difference? There's quite a difference. Listen to it again. Okay? Now, a lot of the jazz players, the jazz drummers, they had that sloppy type of sound when they did a open stroke roll around the drum set. And that kind of became the jazz thing to do. Okay, but I like you to have the ability to be able to do both. Because if you can play it cleanly, trust me, you'll be able to play it sloppy. Sloppy's easy, okay, but it's hard to get it clean. Okay, so here's the approach I use. I do a wrist stroke followed by a finger stroke for right, right, left, left, which is the pattern for open stroke roll. So this is what my hands look like when I'm playing a open stroke roll without the second stroke. Watch the motion of my wrist. Now I'm going to add the double tap on each hand. But if you notice my wrist, the motion of my sticks, they're the same. Okay? Whether I'm playing here or I'm playing here. Okay? I'm not doing this. Okay, what is that? That's all wrist. Okay, you really can't get up to any kind of a speed without killing yourself when you're playing all wrist. There's just no way. Okay, so first work on that. That's the motion. And do the double tap. So here's your drill. Exercise 1. And make sure that it sounds perfect, just like that, not this. Okay, that may sound cool, it may sound a little jazzy and all, but it's not correct for this drill. Okay, in the second one I was just throwing it and letting the stroke just happen. Okay, in the first one that I did, I'm making the stroke with the finger. So you got a wrist followed by a finger. Wrist followed by a finger. Okay, once you get that down at a slow tempo, then gradually gain speed and work on exercise 1, which is this. Okay, then you're ready for exercise 2. We're going to do the closed roll. Now the closed roll is different. Okay, closed roll, what a lot of drummers do is they squeeze the heck out of the stick. And when you squeeze it, what happens? It causes tension in here. And so guys are doing closed rolls and they're looking like this. And they're literally not faking, they're dying because they're so tense. Okay, and that really is awful for your arms and wrists, fingers. That'll definitely give you repetitive motion injuries down the road if you do that for any length of time. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to be nice and loose and relaxed. So you just throw it in the beginning, the drill, and try to get as many bounces as you can. That's where it starts. You notice my hands hardly even holding the stick. Okay, now as you gradually increase the tempo, what you want to do is overlap each buzz from one stick to the next so it doesn't end and then the next one starts, but rather dovetails into the next buzz. So before the previous buzz ends, you want to start the next buzz. Okay, now if you want to, do it for down the road after you get this down for a little visual effect, Buddy Rich used to do this. He used to drag the roll across the drum. That's cool for a visual effect. But for right now, I want you to be able to get the bounce in one place because it's actually much easier to get a bounce this way, an extended bounce when you're dragging it across the drum like that. Okay, but I want you to do it the hard way. Try to get it all in one place. Okay, and once you get that up to a decent speed, and be careful, right about here is where you're going to want to get tense. Don't get tense. Okay, stay nice and loose and relaxed. Okay, once you get that down, then work on exercise 2, the drill I have in exercise 2, which is this. Okay, and then work that up to speed. Then once you get those 2 drills done, then work on the drill I have in exercise 3, which is this. Okay, and the problem area in that drill is going to be going from the open stroke roll to the closed roll. That spot right there. A lot of guys like to get sloppy there. Okay, don't. Try to stay nice and loose and relaxed. Okay, so work on that. That's exercise 3. And then exercise 4 has you throwing buzzes in to an open stroke roll, continuous open stroke roll. And you can, if you think about this, once you get this down, you can build an entire drum solo just on that. You start here. You can go into all different kinds of things there. Okay, that's getting a little more advanced, but here's where you start. Okay, you got to start it here, and you got to just make sure you get the basics down. Once you get the basics down, that's like building a house. You got to have a solid foundation. Once you get that solid foundation, the house is easy. It goes up great, and it most likely won't collapse. Same thing with your chops. Get that solid foundation, and you'll eventually get the high-end chops. Okay, so work on those exercises. Slow is the way to go in the beginning. You'll gradually get the speed. Don't worry about it. Speed will come. Okay, so have fun, stay loose, and I'll catch you guys next time.